I guess we sold out the first show, and then people were asking for the opportunity for more. So we decided to go ahead and try that, and so we're now selling that one pretty well, I think. Last I heard. So hopefully we can sell out another show in Athens. That would be fantastic.
New Messiah's album will be released in 26 days in Europe. Mm-hmm. What is the message you want to send through the name of the album?
Well, there's no, I'm not going to say that there's no message, but obviously it's pretty clear in the world today. We're very divided, and it certainly appears that there are powers, whether seen or unseen, that are. I mean, it's a feeling that our strings are being pulled. There's master of puppets, so to speak. Not entirely take Metallica's idea, but it's just that, and I think it's just an unsettled feeling for most people, whether who's pulling the strings. I mean, there's opinions on both sides of the political spectrum, obviously, or all sides, I should say, because I think that there's probably more than two political sides. But generally speaking, it's just an not knowing, who's pulling the strings is basically what it's about. And I don't pick sides. I let the listener. With most lyrics that I write, I try not to influence the listener entirely, and allow it to be something that people can make their own assumptions or their own judgments on. I think that the thing is just kind of speaking to the frustration of not knowing exactly what's going on in the world at all times, and none of us really know. I mean, I don't think that any of us on our level, certainly on my level, know exactly what's going on. But there are these questions, and you think that sometimes you feel as though we're being manipulated. So that's basically what it is.
Do you believe after 4 albums that you have found the signature music for Ashes of Aris?
I think it's ever evolving. Freddie and I have our influences, obviously, in music. It's probably more the stuff that, and I think I find this with most musicians, where you're going to be influenced more, I think, with the things that you listen to, earlier in life, and those influencers are still there. And I think that you can certainly hear that with this next record. They're, obviously Freddie's got a big death metal background, so those influencers are there. Progressive metal, as well as kind of Bay Area thrash stuff, which is what I cut my teeth on when I first started listening to metal. So I think all those influences are still there, and it's just we're adding on to what we already those influences that we have, but also as we're evolving, we're trying to constantly evolve and do better and make things better, and do better as far as what we can do with our budget and things like that as well. Those things are always a factor in what you can actually do. If we had an unlimited budget, there would be unlimited amount of time to do things and all that. But also we have careers that sometimes take away. So we do what we can within the realm of our abilities, not only as musicians, but also as human beings with time restraints and things of that nature, and financial restraints as well.
How would you describe the new album?
I would say it's a natural evolution. If you listen to the last 3 records, we've kind of evolved from one to another. So I think that there will be some new sounds on there, but still sticking to the basis of what Ashes of Ares is about.
Which song holds the most significance for you from the new album?
Well, they're I have some emotions for all of them, really, but probably one of the more significant ones for me. I mean, I really the last single that we just put out, From Hell He Rides, is a really cool rocking song for me. I really like that song. That was kind of my pick for the ones that we were going to release as singles, because I think it's just got a really good sound, and it's very it's kind of earwormy. You know, he kind of gets in there. It's got some hooks, good hooks in the chorus and things like that. So I really dig that one. But also we're going to be releasing a single called "Keep on Walking," and it's kind of that's my song for my kids, and so that one's a very emotional one for me, as far as the message. The message is that hopefully my kids will be able to take what I've given to them, the love that I've given to them, and will be able to pass that on in their life to ones that they love. And hopefully my memory will live on through them. And that's a really important one for me.
How do you compose an album? Where do you start? From music, from the lyrics?
It really depends. Sometimes for me, it starts with lyrics. Oftentimes, if I'm writing and I'm writing down song ideas, or I'll start out a song as sort of a poem. For Freddie, I think normally it starts with riffs and things like that, and you know, he may start to compose something as a song, and we'll work on that together. Sometimes for me, I'll have a melody or something in my mind, and I'll start with that, and then I'll work on lyrics along with that. So it really depends ultimately on what what it comes from all angles. I think I don't think there's anything specifically that says, hey, this is what this is. But and oftentimes Freddie will send me a song or a partial song or what have you, and it'll spark off an idea, and then I'll start working on lyrics from there. So it really depends. We build these songs kind of in different ways, and sometimes it's like being Dr. Frankenstein. We'll have some riffs or ideas, a riff over here or something, and we'll sit down there and manipulate those. That's the cool thing about doing digital recording. We can I can move different parts around. Like if Freddie sends me something that's a semi-completed song or whatever, or he's got like an idea for what the verse should be, a bridge and a chorus, then I can manipulate those things digitally and move them around, and then I can kind of create a song with the lyrics that way. So it really depends. I mean, we work separately, together but separately, because he lives in Arizona, I live in Delaware, so we share files back and forth and things like that, and that's typically how we write songs. Usually I'll say, hey, I've got this idea, and this is how I would like it, and I'm going to work on it. And he'll go, okay, cool, send me what you got, and then I'll rework it. So we just share files back and forth and talk on the phone and email and all that, and that's usually how we compile songs together. And then as far as the the ideas of the themes for an entire record, it usually comes later on. Like if I'm writing in a certain mindset, then maybe I'll have songs that are similar or have one feeling or another, or there may be a theme that kind of runs through certain songs. We haven't done anything yet that's a complete conceptual record, but sometimes themes tend to run together and run through the record, or even through multiple records. We have things that sometimes that touch on, there may be a song that we do in one record and it has a similarity with another, and those kind of link together. But we haven't done anything totally conceptually to this date. Not to say that won't happen, but we try to keep things on a level that we can kind of control them a little bit more. Sometimes concept records can be very, very involved and very heavy, considering those distances and things like that, and our other careers and things, family that.
The Dark Saga tour is a celebration. How does it feel to revisit this milestone?
Yeah, it's great. I think it's going to be a very cool thing. I think it's going to lend itself to something that's kind of historic, certainly for me, getting back to doing songs from a record that was really important in my life and my career. I think that was a very very bright time as far as the history of Iced Earth. So yeah, it's going to be nice, and for the first time ever, as far as I know, well, certainly for me, I've never done the record in its entirety, so I think that's going to be a pretty cool thing. It's going to be fairly significant for fans as well. So especially maybe fans that have been fans since that era, and the folks in Hellas that are going to be there, sharing those moments with us in Athens and in Thessaloniki.
How will you approach this album with Aces of Aries?
Well, we're going to try to approach it as best we can. I think that obviously, we're not Iced Earth. I was a big part of Iced Earth for a long time, but we're not Iced Earth. So we're going to pay tribute to these records, or to this record, the best that we can, and present it to the folks as pure as possible, and as close to the original stuff live as we possibly can.
Are there any special surprises planned for the tour?
Well, I think that just presenting that record in its entirety is about as special as we can get. That's what we're hoping that folks really resonates with them. That we're bringing them something that's not been done before, and I'm there to represent. Well, Freddie and I are both representative of really good times in Iced Earth, and I think that's going to resonate as well. That we recognize as people that were in Iced Earth at very positive times in that in our different, in those different eras, but certainly for the Dark Saga, I was part of that era, and I think it's pretty important time in the history of Iced Earth, and hopefully will be this will be a very good representation and a very important time in the history of Ashes of Aries.
With a new album and the tour, seems like you have a busy and exciting year. How do you balance creativity, performance, work, and personal life?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, this year, as far as the record is concerned, the record's been done for a while, so it's we haven't been writing and all that for a while. Excuse me, for a while. So as far as the creativity side of it, we're gonna focus our creativity obviously on presenting the Dark Saga in the best possible way for the live shows, and that's what we're working on now. Career and family certainly are something that we both have to balance. It's not like we're the only musicians that have to balance, other careers and things like that. But it can be tough for sure. But we're up for the challenge.
And finally, what message do you like to share with fans for the new album and the Dark Saga tour?
Yeah. So hope that everybody enjoys the new record when it finally breaks. I think that you're getting a good taste from these singles that we're putting out of what direction the record is in, and hopefully you enjoy it. As far as the tour, I'm really looking forward to seeing folks out on the road, especially some of our friends and fans that have been following us since the beginning and beyond, even in Iced Earth. So just really look forward to seeing everybody out on the road, and please enjoy our new record, Ashes of Aries, New Messiahs. Will be out shortly.
Thank you very much for the time. I hope to see you again here in September and in October.
Yes. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
All right. You're very welcome. All right. Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.